So here's the difference between my old and my new one. What's up YouTube? Today I'm going to show you how to change the filters on a 3-stage iSpring whole house filter system. And I'm only going to change 2 of the filters, that being the carbon filter and the GAC plus KDF filter. And the reason I'm going to change these 2 is because I'm starting to see rust and staining coming from my water again. I'll show you a picture of that. So because I'm seeing this staining, that's why I'm going to change these 2. My 3rd filter is just a descaling filter, and that's mainly for my tankless hot water heater. So I think that's fine for now, and that's also like 3 times the price as these filters. So I want to make that one last if I can. So I'm going to be changing these 2 filters and also servicing my spin down filter here. Before we do anything, if you've watched my install video of this, you know I put a floor sensor in here to sense any water. So I want to just get that out of the way so it doesn't actually trigger it, because I think we're going to get a little bit of water here. So let me get these filters out of the way. If you're interested in this kind of system, I do have a full video of how to install one of these. Check that video out if you're interested in how to install one. If you already have one and you're looking for how to service it, you're in the right place. So the first thing we're going to do is service the spin down filter before we turn the water off. So remember, I did put in this bypass valve. So if I did want other people to be using the water right now, I could just turn these valves off and then turn this one on, and the water would continue to the house. So the first thing we're going to look at is the spin down filter. And first I want to get just a little bit just to see what kind of grime and stuff it has caught. So first we're going to just get a little bit out here. So here's the on and off for my spin down filter, and you could, there's a little port here, you could connect a hose to it if you wanted to, but for draining purposes and to clean this out, I would just have a glass or some sort of bucket. So for this, I'm just going to get a little bit here just to see what kind of sediment has built up. So you can definitely see some stuff in there. We'll let that settle and look at it later. So I've captured most of the debris with the pressure still onto the house. So now I'm going to actually turn off my pressure in both directions here. So now this is off, and then I can drain the system. And what I like about having the sediment filter is I can actually drain the system from here instead of having to open these up and a bunch of water coming out, or like having another valve or something. This is my main point for actually draining the system, so then I can just change the filters without a bunch of water coming out. So we're going to get a bucket and just drain the system from this port. So I got my bucket here, and we're just going to let this drain. And then I'm actually going to open one of these up just a little bit just to let air in here, so then it might drain a little more. If you do see a ton of buildup in these coils here, you could take this off, this filter housing off, and just take a wire brush or something to this, but I don't really see any amount of buildup in here. So besides the flushing, I think we're good on that one. So I'm going to open this up just a little bit. Remember, you should have gotten this little tool here to remove your filters with your unit. So let's see, righty tighty, lefty loosey. So we're going this way. Crack open your filter here just a little bit so it'll drain more. Oh wait, what am I doing? Oh, wood, because it's backwards. Okay, so I was actually tightening it. Directions are hard. Okay, so now we're loosening it. You can hear it bubbling in there. There we go. So as soon as I crack that, so air could get in here, we're gonna get more drainage. So we'll let that drain just a little more. And then I haven't seen any water come from here yet, so that's a good sign. We got most of it drained from here. We're gonna leave the bucket here just in case any extra water is gonna come out here. So this should be loose enough that we can actually take this filter out now. Just careful not to let it slam on the floor, especially if you have concrete. So just after you get it loose enough where you can hand do it, make sure you get it supported. not horrible. But just know that this is gonna be heavy because it is full of water plus your filter, so. But that's not too bad. You might wanna have a towel ready if you don't want stuff getting wet. All right, so this is my first stage. This is my carbon filter. So you can see it is definitely tinged that color from the sediment and the iron particularly. And I'll show you the color difference between this one and the new one. So you also want to make sure you empty out the water that was in it. And if there's any kind of sludge or anything, let's see what we got here. No sludge, a little bit of particles. I'm just gonna wipe out the filter housing on the inside here just to get off any sludge or anything. It seemed pretty clean, but there were a couple spots of particles and yeah, there are definitely a few particles in there. I don't know if you can see this, but there's definitely some debris. I don't know what that is, but remnants from the old filter, I don't know. But yeah, definitely worth giving it a wipe down. So here's the difference between my old and my new one. If you can see that, pretty clear color difference. So you can see it does come with this little ring on top, so this one has come off from the old one. You don't need to put that on the new one. The old one, it just was separating. So the new one does also have this rubber gasket. It's just more firmly in there. So don't like double gasket it. That would probably be bad. So just make sure it has the rubber gasket on the top and bottom, and then be careful where you set it because it's going to collect debris. I had set it on my dirty floor and it picked up some stuff. So make sure it is clean on the top and bottom before you put it in. And then there's that little nub it kind of sits in at the bottom. So this is what it should look like, kind of centered. A little bit off center, but if it's not sitting in that nub, it's going to really want to sit to one side or the other. So make sure it actually sits down. Maybe. There we go. See, it went down a little further. And then you're going to want to make sure your O-rings are still in place. They actually do have like a silicone lube you can put on there. Probably should have that, but I don't. And also just kind of look at your O-rings and see if they're in good shape. So you can see this one's really nice and shiny still, but this one is actually starting to get a little worn. So I think next time I'm going to get a new O-ring for this, because you can see this one's actually doing most of the work. So you can see it's getting just a little worn. And then also you can get some silicone lube to actually put on these. That might actually help keep them from getting as worn, but just make sure you're checking your O-rings. All right, so now we just need to screw the filter back on. I don't think I'm gonna get any more water here. So just make sure you don't cross thread it. You can kind of feel when it starts to grab. There we go. Maybe. Yeah. Just make sure you don't force it. Make sure it's like really nice and easy to turn. It should not be hard to turn. And then once you get a hand tighten, you can use your tool to snug it up. It should be tight, but not crazy tight. And then when you turn it on, you can always tighten it more if it is leaking, but you don't want to crank this down like too crazy, because these are all just plastic fittings. All right, that's our first filter. Now we'll do the second one. Just remember which way you're going. So to the left, we'll be loosening it. then once you get it loose, you can hand untighten it. Remember, it's going to be heavy when it drops. Ugh. This one's a little bit heavier because it's a heavier filter. You can definitely see the dirt even just inside the filter housing here. All right, so then we'll take this one out. The ring will come out. And let it kind of drain. It's helpful if you have a bucket handy. All right, and then dump the rest of this water out. Then again, you're going to clean the filter housing. Just some paper towels. Get any slime or anything out of the housing. Not much in this one. Then we got our new one here. There are a few different options you could put in these 3 configurations. This is the one I've gone with, but there is like just a 5-micron filter you could put in. But they do say you want to change that one every 6 months. So it's been 9 months since I've changed these or put them in. But if you were doing one of those, you'd have to change it even sooner. So these again come with washers. Just make sure they're on both sides. You want to use the new ones. There's not one at the bottom. So you can see there's no rubber ring at the bottom of this one. Like the other one had one top and bottom, so just one on the top for this one. And again, you want to make sure it sits in or drops in that hole. And then make sure your ring is on there. And then again, you're going to check your O-rings just to make sure they're not deteriorating. This one looks a little better. And then you want to get that silicone lube if you can. Ready to put this one back. Again, make sure it grabs the threads, you're not cross-threading it. Hand tight, and then use your tool. Again, don't go too crazy. All right, so I got my new 2 filters in. I'm not going to change this one. This is my descaling filter, and this one is quite pricey, so I'm going to try to get as much life as I can out of it. All right, so after you change your filters, you're going to want to make sure you close your sediment filter again, so when you turn your water on, it doesn't just come out. I do want to try to show you what the sediment looks like here. See if I can get it under the light here. So there's definitely, I mean, there's the bigger bits, the black bits you can probably see, but there's also like sediment, sand. So it really does a good job of filtering little pieces of sand out so they don't get stuck in your filter. And I try to flush this out every couple months. Any other stuff stuck in here, you can actually remove once you drain it, you can actually remove this housing. You should have gotten a little tool with this one too. And you can actually clean in between all these little spaces here with a brush. So just note, if you get anything like this, you'd want to take this housing off and clean it. But mine looks pretty good. I've got this closed and now ready to repressurize the system. So I'm just going to turn this one on slowly. You should hear it start to fill. You see it fill the sediment filter first. Once these fill up, this one will kind of fill up more. You want to go easy here, don't go full blast, just to go easy on your system. You also want to be checking for leaks just to make sure you got it screwed on tight enough. You see it filling up now. So once this fills up, you'll hear it going through here too. So this will take a few minutes here just to saturate the new filters. All right, the water is all the way on this side. You're going to open a tap upstairs and then you're going to crank this one open just a little bit. And you're going to get a lot of air in the system, so you want to take it easy. Don't open it full blast or you're going to stress your system. So with the tap open, you're going to let this cycle until you don't hear any more air in the system, and then you can open it up more. So it could take a few minutes for the water to completely get saturated and all the air out of the new filters. So every time you stop hearing air, just kind of open it a little more. Alright, open that full. And then I'd run the new filters a few minutes just to get any of the new filteriness out of it. Alright, so that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. Just make sure if you have a water sensor, you want to remove that and put it up high before you start doing this, because there is going to be excess water. Even when you drain the sediment filter through this, there's still going to be a lot of water that comes out through this. So have some towels ready if you want to keep your area clean and you don't want water draining to other areas. But this is pretty simple. If you are new to the channel and this is the first thing you see, I did do a full video of how to install one of these with the bypass system and the sediment filter, so check that out. You definitely want to mark when you've done your changing of your filters somewhere. I have this here, so I'll just mark it here. And let me know if you have any questions, other comments. I'm still liking this system. I think it's a good system. These filters aren't crazy expensive, so that's why I was able to change them in 9 months when I did notice some of that iron and stuff coming back into my water. So I think this is a really good system, and it doesn't take up a lot of room. You can see I've got it mounted on my wall here, and it pretty much stays out of the way, and I've had zero problems with it. So leave me a comment if you have any other questions, and see you next time.